Mr. Allen,
we appreciate you giving it the time.
we're
running into the end of our time with you.
You talked about Governor Brown. We have the largest surplus in history right now. You're on that budget committee. Something Californians could be a little bit proud of right now is having a huge budget surplus. How would you spend that money? Governor Brown just came out saying he wants to address the homeless issue with that money. I guess speak to that.
Sure. First, let's finish up on single-payer healthcare.
Go ahead.
Single-payer healthcare, guys, by the way, we're talking about budget issues, $400 billion a year. It would bankrupt the state in the first 6 months. But let's talk about budget for a minute. When Jerry Brown was first elected, the state budget was $86 billion in the general fund in 2010. Today, it's over $138 billion. That's an increase of over $50 billion, over 50%, and we have nothing to show for it. Look, he didn't even build that train that he's always been talking about. And by the way, I think I might have already told you, in my first budget, I will line item veto that bullet train to nowhere out of existence. We're going to leave that little section in the middle of that field in the Central Valley, and I'm going to hang a sign on it so nobody ever forgets, and it's going to read Jerry Brown's legacy, because that's all he ever did. So listen, now Brown wants to tell us we have this budget surplus, and oh my gosh, what are we going to do with all this money? The budget surplus is a myth. These are your taxpayer dollars. This is your taxes that got raised with Prop 30. This is your taxes that just got raised with the gas tax. He has been wasting our money for years now. California doesn't have a budget surplus. What we have is a pension system that is $300 billion underwater. California has serious problems, and an $18 billion rainy day fund is not going to get us out of these problems. What we need to do is we need to go to the root of it. We need to say, look, cut taxes in California. Taxes are too high. When the average government sector worker in California makes 50% more than the average private sector worker in California, there's a problem there. When the Legislative Analyst's Office comes out with a report in 2014 and says that the Department of Caltrans, the California Transportation Agency, has 3,500 employees that are entirely duplicative, doing the same job as somebody else down the hall, costing taxpayers $500 million a year, you start to get the feeling that there's a lot of great government workers, but there might be a couple extra as well. And a lot of these guys are getting paid a lot of money. So the answer is this. California's politicians on the Democrat side have been all too willing to spend somebody else's money. The problem is that's our money that belongs in our pockets. What California needs to do is take the money that we have and actually spend it where we can see it on projects that we need. Completing the California State Water Project so we never have to worry about these droughts again. Fixing our roads, expanding our freeways so we're out of the worst of the nation traffic. And in the North State, you actually have roads that you can drive on. I mean, there's a road up in Del Norte that's literally at risk of falling into the ocean. This is where the money needs to go. And then beyond that, we need to take a look at how we're spending the money on education so we're actually getting bang for the buck. Jerry Brown put 50% more money into education in the last 8 years, but yet our kids are still 46th and 47th in reading and math. So clearly there's a problem there. What we don't need is we don't need more taxes. What we do need is a government run like a business by a business owner. That's exactly who I am. And ladies and gentlemen, my name is Travis Allen. I will be your next governor of the state of California. And I'll tell you right now, this is our state. This belongs to you. This state belongs to you. This building right behind me, it belongs to you. These tax dollars that Jerry Brown and the Democrats want to spend so freely, that is your money. It belongs in your pocket. And if it's going to come to the government, you better believe that they better use it the best way possible on things that we actually need and can use.